and yet separate from it in a way he couldn't define. 1 minute it seemed an undifferentiated mass, and then these young people materialized out of the chaos of bodies. To his eye, they were wearing stained and greasy jeans, like some kind of junkie army risen from their mothers' pull-out couches. But there was an urgency to their movements, shuffling quickly like they were loonies, 5 minutes escaped from the Harbor View nut house on 9th. And he sipped his coffee and laughed. There was a calm camaraderie, too, a sort of ease he recognized, as though they were an elite military unit, saying little, communicating instead out of seasoned memory, the easy gait of shared purpose. He set his coffee on the keeper and watched in total stunned astonishment as they sat down in a circle and then began locking themselves together with chains and PVC pipe. Maybe as an officer of the law he should be doing something about that? He turned to Julia and nodded toward the kids. I mean, what's going on here, Jew? Are they protesting the world? Julia, Jew, she looked at him in that way she had of looking at him, as if 1,000 miles stood between her body and yours, or so she wished. Aristocratic, was that the word? Are they protesting the world? She said flatly. That's what you want to know? Yeah. Which one, Park? Which one what? Which world, pendejo? Yours or theirs? He turned away. The Peacekeeper was parked in the zebra lines of the South Crosswalk at 6th and Union, its ass with the double doors pointing west toward a bank, its headlights and flat hood pointing toward a coffee shop, which was wisely, Park thought, closed and shuttered for the day. On the other side of the intersection, perpendicular to the wide side of the Keeper, beyond that mess of kids and hippies, a series of low, wide steps fanned upward, creating a wedge-shaped plaza with the wooden benches at the bottom as the crust, which was funny, Park thought, because the plaza was not public, but private, narrowing and climbing as it approached the entrance, ending among potted ferns and the glass doors of the Sheraton lobby. Above the lobby, ivy-colored beige walls. Above that, gray glass rose a neck-craning 35 floors above the street. Pretty much your typical pretentious downtown bull crap in the opinion of Park, who was feeling pretty irritated because he hadn't eaten anything besides a banana and a power shake this morning, and whose stomach was already growling despite that being only about 2 hours ago, when he woke at 4 a.m. to do abdominal crunches in the dust of the bare floor beside his bed. A young mother in a $1,000 mountaineering jacket was circulating behind the Peacekeeper. She was on the south side of 6th, behind their lines, and Park saw her over the top of the Peacekeeper distributing coffee and cupcakes from a tray. She seemed suburban and pleasant. Park noticed she had parked a baby stroller in the cedar chips of a municipal tree, for which he could cite her if he chose, which he did not currently feel like doing. But, as he reminded himself, he could if he wanted, which was the point. He stepped around the front of the Peacekeeper and was pleased when Julia stepped down and followed him. The lady approached them where they stood beside the Peacekeeper. She offered them the tray of fresh coffees and the paper-wrapped cupcakes, nodding toward the protesters chanting behind Park and Jew. Her voice pitched conspiratorially. She said, "Aren't they a pain? I mean, gosh, I thought the 60s were over." She released a bright laugh as if a little surprised at her own naughtiness. "All those banners and shouting," the lady said. "What are they doing? It's almost Christmas." She was sort of whining now, and Park, his back to the Keeper, asked her to please step away from the vehicle. The lady continued forward as if she hadn't heard, offering the tray to them as if she were in her living room entertaining guests. Park put on his gloves and flexed his fingers until the fit was tight. "I just don't know what they hope to accomplish sitting in the street like that," she said. "I asked you to step away from the vehicle," Park said. And then he paused and added, "What's the matter with you?"